Have you ever wondered what a body found in a bog could reveal about dark rituals of human sacrifice? Or what might happen if someone dared to challenge the supposed curse of an ancient artifact? And what about discovering objects that preserve stories of tragedies frozen in time, like in Pompeii? The past is filled with mysteries that not only leave us speechless, but also make us question our own beliefs and boundaries. These archaeological artifacts are more than pieces of history. They challenge us to confront the darker side of civilizations that came before us. Between tales of curses, moments of tragedy, and objects that seem ordinary but carry surprising stories, we are drawn into a deep dive into the unknown. Why are we so fascinated by the macabre? Perhaps it reminds us of how much there is still to understand about human complexity. Get ready to explore discoveries we might have preferred not to make, but that continue to stir our curiosity. By the end, you might ask yourself, do we really want answers to all these mysteries? The bog bodies found in Europe transport us to a dark scenario where ancient civilizations performed ritual sacrifices. Preserved in a hauntingly perfect state, these bodies are like time capsules, telling stories of beliefs and practices that mix devotion with mystery. Imagine the fascination of archaeologists uncovering the history behind bodies like the Tollund Man, whose features remain intact, a noose around his neck revealing his grim fate as an offering to the gods. But these sacrifices weren't simply barbaric acts, they were deeply rooted in the spiritual beliefs of the time. To those societies, offering a life to the gods ensured abundant harvests, protection from calamities, or even victory in battles. Today, viewing these practices through the lens of archaeology, it's hard not to feel a mix of admiration for their cultural complexity and repulsion at the brutality. A modern example that echoes this fascination is the ritualistic themes in films like Midsommar, which explore extreme beliefs and their consequences. These discoveries make us ponder how much our own current beliefs, though more sophisticated, are deeply connected to ancestral practices. Do we fully understand the intentions of these cultures? Or are we just scratching the surface of their complex belief systems? This leads us to another fascinating realm: artifacts that carry dark stories and chilling legends. Historical artifacts often carry mysteries that defy our understanding, and the tomb of Tutankhamun is a prime example. Discovered in 1922, its opening was followed by a series of strange events, including unexplained deaths attributed to the pharaoh's curse. Although science argues that toxic mold might have been the real cause, popular imagination embraced the idea of supernatural forces protecting the young king's eternal rest. These stories shape how we interpret the past. Consider, for instance, the Hope Diamond, another artifact shrouded in sinister legends. It is believed to have brought misfortune and tragedy to many of its owners, including royalty. Such accounts make us wonder what drives some people to defy danger and approach these objects. Perhaps it's the promise of wealth, power, or simply the thrill of experiencing something beyond the ordinary. This attraction to dark stories extends not only to the objects themselves, but also to the narratives surrounding them. From museum collections to tales of archaeological expeditions marked by misfortune, the fascination with these artifacts remains strong. While some recount fictional tragedies, others capture real events and freeze historical moments, as we'll see in the remnants of human catastrophes. The fossilized bodies of Pompeii are a striking reminder of nature's destructive power. Covered by a layer of volcanic ash in 79 AD, the inhabitants of this city had their final moments immortalized in poses that reveal desperation, surprise, or resignation. It's as if time stopped, allowing us to closely observe a human tragedy that transcends centuries. No wonder many visitors to Pompeii feel a deep connection to these frozen stories. These remnants are not just records of catastrophic events, they evoke empathy. For example, by studying everyday objects found among the ruins, plates still set on tables, or children's toys, we realize that these people weren't so different from us. They also had dreams, fears, and routines, all abruptly interrupted. This reflection on the fragility of life shows how tragedies can redefine human narratives. Even more intriguing is how history can repeat itself. Volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, and other natural disasters still haunt the modern world. Have we truly learned from these past lessons? Or like in Pompeii, is there always an element of surprise beyond our control? This human vulnerability is also revealed unexpectedly in simple objects, yet ones with surprising stories, as we'll see next. At first glance, an ancient ceramic may seem like just a molded and fired piece of clay. But some of these objects hold fascinating secrets, like unexpected inscriptions or modifications that reveal unique practices. In an archaeological site in Greece, for example, an amphora was found with markings indicating it was used not to transport wine, but for specific rituals. This simple piece of pottery carries a fragment of history we might never have imagined without its discovery. Other objects, such as everyday tools, can also surprise us. During an excavation in Scandinavia, a seemingly ordinary axe revealed decorative traces suggesting a ceremonial purpose beyond its practical use. This duality between the mundane and the symbolic reflects the complexity of ancient societies, which often blended work and spirituality in their most basic artifacts. It reminds us that even the simplest objects can carry rich narratives. This idea also applies to our modern daily lives. What will people 1,000 years from now say when they uncover our cell phones, personalized mugs, or decorative items? Will they understand what they truly meant to us? Perhaps these future artifacts will be as enigmatic to them as many of the ones we discover today are to us. After all, the fascination with artifacts never ends. It only evolves. What do these artifacts have in common? They are not just witnesses to the past, but real provocations for our minds and hearts. Each discovery forces us to reflect. What are we willing to learn about ourselves when faced with such disturbing stories? Can we truly uncover the secrets of objects that have endured through centuries, or will they remain a reminder of how much there is left to explore? And you, what do you think about all this? Which of these artifacts intrigued you the most? Perhaps it's the sacrifice preserved in the bog bodies or the sinister tales of curses and tragedies. Share your thoughts and reflections in the comments. Exchanging ideas is one of the best ways to understand what connects us to the past.